As several water-related bills make their way through the legislative process, water managers are bracing for another scorching summer, adding stress to the state's already strained water supplies. Population growth and water loss from outdated water systems also continue to deplete what we have.
The KVUE Defenders continue to follow how Central Texas communities address these challenges. As investigative reporter Jenny Lee shows us, the state is projected to use more water reuse strategies as traditional supplies dry up.
Ice and snow blanketed Austin in February of 2021. The worst power outage in state history left millions without electricity and freezing temperatures for days. More than 245 people died. But at the University of Texas campus, the lights stayed on. But it was close.
About 15 minutes.
15 minutes from a campus-wide blackout. The problem? Not power or gas.
We were running out of water.
No water means no water pressure. Ryan Thompson is head of utilities operations. He says he couldn't fill up the cooling towers needed for the gas turbines to work. UT was 15 minutes away from the gas turbines overheating and shutting down, leading to an electrical failure. Luckily,
we found a leak on campus in one of the water lines, 2.5-inch pipe. As soon as they patched it, the pressure started coming back up.
Thompson says that close call accelerated the UT Water Hub project. Once completed, running out of water will no longer be an issue.
The Water Hub provides us a level of resiliency because now I have a constant source of water for these power plants here.
The UT Water Hub is a wastewater treatment facility, taking sewer water from all over campus, treating it before pumping it to the cooling towers, using reclaimed water instead of drinking water.
And it will replace about 40% of the water volume that we purchase every year.
Thompson says 40% equals about 260 million gallons of drinking water a year. That's enough water to fill up about 530 Olympic-sized pools.
We know that it's going to be there regardless of Winter Storm Uri Part 2.
Construction is expected to start at the end of 2025, replacing a dozen parking spots near the engineering district. About 20 miles north of UT, Pflugerville is also expanding its reclaimed water use or wastewater treated for non-drinking purposes.
The cheapest water is usually the water you already have.
Utility Director Brandon Pritchett says it only makes sense to use more reclaimed water as the city keeps growing.
It both saves the city a lot of money, really conserves our potable water supplies.
Potable water is drinking water. And that conservation is needed because Pflugerville projects its population to reach between 82,000 and 92,000 in 2025. But by 2030, the city projects a jump as high as 129,000. So design plans are underway to build a reclaimed water line to the 1849 park. It's Pflugerville's largest community park and sports complex that uses up to 500,000 gallons of drinking water a day for irrigation. And the park is also expanding.
Which means, obviously, more irrigated space.
But Pflugerville city leaders are taking conservation one step further. Pritchett says they've already studied using treated wastewater for drinking water.
So direct potable reuse means that we are taking the treated wastewater and return it back to be retreated as a potable water source.
Liberty Hill is also turning to direct potable reuse to tackle its rapid population growth. The booming city in Williamson County went from about 3,600 people in 2020 to a projected population of more than 13,500 in 2025.
It's not a question of if direct potable reuse or other forms of water reuse become the norm in Central Texas. It's a matter of when.
Jeremy Mazer is a water expert with Texas 2036, a nonpartisan public policy think tank. He says water reuse will have to play a bigger role as the state faces water shortages due to deteriorating drinking and wastewater systems, ongoing drought conditions, and growth.
It's hard for people to wrap their heads around it, but once it goes down the sink, the treatment technology is there to clean it up again and reuse it.
Other Central Texas communities with planned direct potable reuse projects include Buda, Llano, West Travis County Public Utility Agency, and San Marcos. State data also shows an increase in water reuse strategies. In 2020, these plans made up more than 116,000 acre-feet of water. In 2022, we showed you.
To give you an idea of how much water that is, an acre-foot covers about the size of an acre, or the size of an entire football field, 1 foot deep.
By 2070, use of all three reuse strategies increased to a little more than 1.1 million acre-feet.
They're going to have to do something.
Back on the UT campus, Thompson says they're also looking into direct potable reuse because, like the rest of Texas, the 40 acres continues to grow from 20 million square feet now, adding another 6.5 million square feet over the next 20 to 30 years.
Water is not getting more prevalent here. It's becoming more scarce.
The city of Austin has used reclaimed water since the 1990s. You can find more on its purple pipe system and how other communities are turning to recycled wastewater on KVUE.com. For the KVUE Defenders, I'm Jenny Lee.